Look at this. It's Christmas. Oh, everywhere I look, I see Christmas. Look out the window. Bit of Christmas. Look under my legs. Look under my shoes. Look behind me. It's Christmas. El De Niro, how's your Christmas?
My Christmas is definitely Christmas.
Is it Christmas? Do you feel Christmas, though?
Every time I look at my TV, I see a trailer for this new Turbo Man toy. Are you getting that?
Yeah. Arnie says they're all out, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Can
That's
Howard
right.
Langston save Christmas for Jamie and Liz?
That is a question for a different podcast, because we are wrestling! Yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. Merry Christmas, actually, whatever religion, whatever...
Yeah, happy holidays, season's greetings, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, all of them. Whichever way you choose to spend this festive period, I hope, it's a lot of love, a lot of happiness, and a lot of general, nice foods going around.
Yeah, and that nice food which tastes infinitely better when put inside of a sandwich for some reason that science can't figure out.
Yeah, I actually thought you were going to say when put inside of a podcast for some reason in my brain. That sandwich tastes a lot better if it's the audio of it is a podcast, such as this one.
Check out Green Apron for delicious food.
Yeah, so we over here at WWP during this festive period that we're having decided to do a little Christmas special.
Yeah. Should we do a giveaway for the listeners?
Nah. Nah. Yeah, we can do of course we can do a giveaway. Yeah.
All right.
What are we giving away now?
We can give away a mug. We can give away the only WWP mug to have ever existed.
I've heard. It's awesome. I've heard rumors about this mug.
Yeah,
and,
it's described in the Bible as the Holy Grail.
the holy mug.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should do a giveaway. But if you got any ideas how to filter this?
I really don't. I think if people go to the YouTube page and just leave a comment saying me, or Happy Christmas, or just leave a comment basically, and you'll be entered
Write something
into the
positive.
Draw.
Yeah. The most positive, and I don't mean fake positive, like, I was walking home and I gave a homeless guy £600 and can I have that mug now, though?
There's one person who legit did that and is like, "Aw, man."
That's £600 for nothing. Just spread some positivity around, excusez-moi, and we'll pick a winner and presumably announce it at a later date.
Yeah, probably on Twitter. We'll message you on YouTube to get your details, and then we'll probably announce it on our Twitter page, maybe our Facebook page as well. And at the start of whatever the next episode we record will be. We don't really record sequentially, so we don't know what that's going to be. But yeah, I think it would be nice to share some Christmas cheer to our listeners. So go ahead and leave a comment on the YouTube page for this video, for this thing that you're listening to right now.
Hopefully, whichever end you listen to. All links and all the relevant information. We'll probably say this at some point here. But yeah, just letting everybody know this is probably going to be kind of a breakaway from the normal reviews or top fives. Because, we're on holiday. So why would we do any work when you're on holiday, right?
Exactly.
Get a life, yeah. So generally speaking, wrestling and Christmas, I don't know how well they've mixed over the years. There's been some strange moments.
It's weird, isn't it? You would expect there to have been a better mix of these two things, because I feel like WWE in particular, which is the corporation that we focus on the most, it's the type of wrestling that we focus on the most on this channel, which may change in the future just for any listeners, but WWE do cliches very well, I think. And they do sort of specials very well. Like when they had a show in Las Vegas and they did the Raw Roulette thing, like that was a really good gimmick that tied into what was going on. Christmas, though, is like different. It's like they've never really... I mean, they've definitely done stuff about Christmas, but they've never got it perfect, I suppose. And that's odd to me.
Yeah, especially because, especially the past few years, it's wholesome family entertainment and all that,
Hmm.
and it feels like when there's a wrestling show that happens to take place at Christmas, that's a coincidence because they probably booked the show. Because this year, 2017, they are actually having a show on Christmas Day
Yeah,
live.
Raw Live, which is tonight for
Yeah,
all you listeners.
yeah. So yeah, if you flick over your imaginary channels from where you listen to this, yeah, Raw's probably going to be on, and they're probably going to be trying to cram down as much Christmas as possible, but in the cringiest, most uncomfortable way.
I hope so.
Such as one of the things I was, looking at WWE and Christmas. For a while, there was a character called Santa Claus.
Oh yes, I read about this as well.
Now, you heard about this guy?
I heard, but I haven't really done a deep dive or like looked at any of the footage or anything. But yeah, I heard. I heard the rumors about Santa Claus.
He was played by Balls Mahoney.
Ah, yes.
Has he passed away?
Yeah, he
I
is.
feel like when I'm talking about ECW people from the mid '90s, it's like part of me kind of thinks, "Oh, is that guy dead?" Um, who isn't like Sabu or RVD basically, or Paul Heyman, or Dreamer. Basically, the main eventers seem to all be quite okay. Weirdly, um,
Yeah, yeah, that's
Taz,
true.
Raven, RVD, they
Tommy
all seem
Dreamer,
yeah,
Sabu, Sandman.
they all seem okay. It's more people down the undercard, but that's again, hey, that would be a different podcast for a non-Christmas time. But yeah, so Santa Claus went around attacking, well, mainly Savio Vega, and he was a heel. This is one I didn't think they've ever done before or since, like a character that isn't just there for Christmas, even though he went away pretty shortly after. Um, what the fuck were they thinking? This is that weird new generation period, I guess. Um, but yeah, no, he was he, he hailed from the South Pole, and he stole presents rather than giving them.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, didn't last that long, but I think it's memorable in that the fuck is this sort of way. Um, Another Christmas related I guess character. Have you ever seen Kane, the mayoral candidate Glenn Jacobs, when he played a character called the Christmas Creature?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, yeah, everyone listening, please, as you listen to this, just quickly hop onto your phones, iPods, MP3 players, your fax machines, whatever you're using to listen to
Telegraph
this.
poles,
Yeah, DVD covers. I don't know what people listen to things off of these days.
microwaves.
Yeah, just have a little quick Google of Kane as the Christmas creature. You won't be disappointed. He looks like a fucking nutbag. He's got basically. Hang on, let me make sure I got this look. If you type Kane and Christmas, it actually tells you his Christian name. I'm doing this live.
It's really
Doing it
hard to
live.
actually Google Kane Christmas creature because the first thing that came up to me was Christmas jumper.
Really?
Wow, I see the. Oh my god, he looks like a Power Ranger.
He does, doesn't he?
Did you ever watch
Uh,
the TV show Masked Rider?
no.
Oh man, he looks like the Masked Rider. Masked Rider had another name for like an international audience. I don't know if I'm like saying his
Oh,
most
there's
popular name.
the other thing where they always change the name. But yeah, so he's got like the Christmas sort of tassely looking things all around him.
Yeah.
He's got like a sort of stripy jumper, white gloves, a green sort of like onesie with a hood. Yeah, must have been shit to wrestle in that. Look at it.
he's he's like he's some kind of holiday insect.
Yeah, he looks God, yeah, it's very Bush League. But yeah, there you go. Christmas creature. Which goes to show that Kane is literally like the man who's had the maddest matches and gimmicks in the history of wrestling. And if you want to know about the Kane story, just everybody hop on Midnight Hour, the episode that I featured in about Kane's story, because I think it's a doozy.
Yeah.
Absolute doozy.
Kane also
Um,
used to be Diesel. Did you know that?
Yeah. Part of it briefly was Diesel.
They just decided to just continue with Diesel. Hey, what do we do?
Yeah.
Kevin Nash is gone. Keep Diesel alive.
Did you ever see him as the Unabomber? Not the actual Unabomber, obviously. Um,
No, I didn't.
is it Unabomb? You look like a fucking gimp. Like literally like a
Okay.
gimp. Um, yeah, he looks ridiculous. But it's weird because so far I already see a theme developing. 2 out of 2 of these people actually were relatively successful people who played um Christmas characters. So maybe that's the way to get in the business.
That is pretty interesting, yeah. I have a good one that is freely available to view on YouTube. It's from Raw, December 23rd, 2013, so this is a recent memory. So it's a match between Good Santa and Bad Santa,
Okay.
and it was a hardcore match. Oh, well, a no disqualification match at the very least. Um, Good Santa was played by Mark Henry, and Bad Santa was played by Damien Sandow. And the premise is that Christmas would be cancelled if Sandow wins. So it was up to Good Santa to keep Christmas alive, and the commentary was fantastic because they did this like completely in kayfabe. Um, I don't know if you ever watched this match between El Torito and some others. I think it was might have been Hornswoggle. Um, and at the end of the match, the three man band featuring WWE champion Jinder Mahal got into the ring, and they pulled El Torito's tail off. And JBL and Michael Cole on commentary were both like, "Oh my God, you can't do that! That's animal cruelty! That's hard!" And all, because in kayfabe, El Torito is literally a bull, right? So
hmm
in,
hmm
in, in kayfabe, this was literally Santa battling to save Christmas, and the commentators reflected it as such with a real like comedic bent to their commentary. But it was really really funny. So um, they were up at the top of the ring where there was a tree laid out with lots of presents, and one of the presents was a candy cane, but it was in fact not a candy cane. It was a kendo cane, and
Uh,
Sandow used it to beat Mark Henry's head in. Eventually, they got in the ring. Mark Henry used the fire extinguisher, the holiday fire extinguisher, to take care of the overdone turkey that was Damien Sandow before hitting him with the world's strongest slam and saving Christmas for everybody. But JBL was rooting for Bad Santa, and he was like, "Yeah, that's right. Get rid of those presents. Those kids gotta earn those presents."
what? That sounds like a movie script that they just abandoned halfway.
Yeah,
That sounds fucking nuts.
it was truly just WWE PG comedy gold.
Yes. Is that a fair comment then that a Christmas episode should always be completely lighthearted? There's no point even trying to be serious, or should they do you think they should ever shoot a major angle? As far as I'm aware, there haven't been any or many memorable ones as far as the top of my head. But do you think they should do perhaps do you think that Santa should be run over on an
Yeah.
episode of Raw? Do you think that? Or I personally wouldn't.
I'm
Or
trying to
any.
imagine like Larry King asking a person that, like, from a like legitimate question, like, "Do you think that it should be serious?" And then I didn't get to answer in time because you kept talking, and it ended with, "Do you think that Santa should be run over, Mr. President? Is that what you think?"
But the thing is, right? The reason why I did that just then like that is because that has actually happened.
No.
Now I was trying to find the year, but for some fucking reason I couldn't find it. Oh, 2012. Um, Hero of the People, and all round good guy, Alberto Del Rio, ran over Mick Foley.
Oh, I
Santa
remember this in the white
with it.
BMW.
Yeah, ran him
Yeah.
over. Like, I can't remember if this was because was this during Del Rio's face turn? Because he had that weird face turn around that, maybe just before this or just after. No, it's Yeah, 2012 leading into 2013. Yeah, when he was like going up against Jack Swagger and he's doing those vignettes at that WrestleMania where he's like on top of the building and he's like, wasn't born here, but I really like it here. The
I
fuck were you saying for 3 years then?
I was just a poor boy who emigrated to America for a better life. Like,
And look at me
motherfucker, you
now.
drive to the ring in a different sports car every week, and we're supposed to believe this shit?
Yeah. To be fair though, he actually got over with the C chant, so
Yeah, but
weirdly he was doing something.
then he got under again by going up
Yeah.
against Dolph Ziggler, who was majorly over at the time. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
He ran him over. I mean, they made no reference to that as a heelish act. I know for a fact that Mick Foley. I don't know this for a fact. I know this for beyond the fact because if you just look at the man and you type in the words, and Mick Foley wants to be Santa Claus. That's like who he loves Christmas. Like I've never seen a man, even because I've got his second and his first and second book especially. That dude is like, yo, I'm playing my Christmas holidays in fucking May. Like loves Christmas.
Christmas is awesome. I love Christmas too.
Hmm.
I like that about Mick Foley.
Yeah, same. Like, if there isn't enough endearing information about Mick Foley,
Exactly.
you're like, of course you like Christmas. You're like the loveliest man in the history of wrestling.
I'd like to posit two possible theories for Del Rio running him over.
Go on.
So number one, he did it for The Rock.
Yeah.
Number two, he's a bad man.
I was always going to say he did it for the people. Fair enough. I think, I mean, you can't argue with either one of those.
Yeah.
So we also have had, when they do the tribute to the troops.
Yeah, I remember this because
A lot of that. A lot of Santas fighting other Santas. A lot of... Is this what soldiers want to see?
Well, they didn't just see that in one of them, right? They also saw like a very sexy Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson Christmas striptease, as is tradition.
Imagine you're there and you're like, yeah, I'm on TV. This is amazing. I'm a soldier. They've come to see me. Oh, shit, I've got an erection because I haven't seen a woman in fucking donkeys. Never got that. Like, sexy Santa? What?
It's like the Halloween thing, though, isn't it? Where it's like
The over-sexualizing of a certain...
sexy R2D2 costume.
Yeah. Sexy nun.
Yeah.
There they go again. Yeah. I'm trying to think. What's the... Is a washing machine the least sexiest thing?
What? I mean, a toilet, probably. Right?
Yeah. What about a washing machine in the toilet? Because if you go to someone's house and they've got that, you're like, you're not living correctly, sir.
we have that in our downstairs toilet in this house.
Well, look at just... No, well, literally in the toilet.
Inside of the... No,
so there is a shower, a washing machine, and a loo and a sink.
No. There's a little under the stairs toilet.
Oh, I see. I mean, as like...
We don't use that one,
Yeah. We don't talk about that one, do we? Yes, it's like when I lived up in university, we had like a toilet. We had technically two toilets, but one of the toilets was like technically outside.
Your Majesty, two toilets. Sorry.
One of them was like technically the world's toilet because it was like you had to go outside, kind of. So you had like where the garden started, and it was like. You go, so say you open the door and there's a garden in front of you, and then to your right you have to step forward and cut back to the right, and then you're in like just literally a loo, so it felt like you were outside because you wore it. And we never used it other than to be sick on. Yeah. Take that, society. So it was like, I'm going to be sick, oh, it's a toilet. Well, for you it's over there. For all of us, it's somewhere else. But yeah, imagine though, someone's house, like their normal... the toilet that they use, you're just like, mate, I don't want to be weird or anything, but I think you shouldn't have a washing machine there. No, the point of that story was, imagine they sexualized that. It'd be the same sexiness as Santa. Sexy Santa.
That's true.
And in a roundabout way, that is a thesis that I've just
It's like,
yeah put across there.
yeah,
Um,
it's um to go back to your earlier point. I think the Christmas episodes being lighthearted is like a really neat thing about wrestling that like if there's a storyline going on that's super serious and involves a serious tone without any comedy and stuff like that, like you can work around that. You can also do that thing where you put a serious storyline in a comedic setting, like what they did with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton when they had the House of Horrors match or whatever it was. Um,
Great match,
yeah, yeah, it was really
right?
good.
I mean, in a non wrestling standpoint, I thought that match was like exactly what it should have been. Like once they booked it, don't get me wrong, I know it's not like what people like or expected, I'm sure, but like once they booked it, it's like they clearly looked at it and went, "Let's go fucking nuts here. Let's make this like a mini film."
We need to do an episode where we review all of the strange match types that have happened.
Yeah, yeah, like your buried alives and
Yeah,
the brawls they've had, like the one in Randy Orton's house where he gets like chucked out by Triple H,
the bamboo prison, Punjabi prison,
the bamboo prison of war prison match.
the
Um,
the bamboo bloodbath.
yeah. Okay then. So as another Christmas sort of because this just caught my eye. Would you? I'm gonna Larry King you again. I'm gonna give you the question and then just jump with the answer. So yeah, serious, not serious, whatever. Would you have perhaps your main eventers pretty much fully nude, other than like a fucking thong for Christmas?
um, Jeez, depends. Which main eventers are they? Are they all men?
They are two men and a woman, but the woman was. If I tell you the year, probably 97.
Oh, it was the woman China,
Yeah.
and the men were Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Nah, mate, it was Jim Neidhart and The Undertaker. That was it. Yes, it was.
Classic Neidhart Undertaker '97 banter.
Yeah, possibly the story. Yeah, but yeah, they came out wearing fucking nothing. This is when they were like, "Yeah, we're edgy now." Shawn Michaels will tell you to suck his dick anytime he wants.
Are
Um,
you ready?
I hope, right, when Shawn Michaels went, full Christian, he had his born again. I would have to go to his church and explain that.
You have to go and
Like,
explain like all the shit that he did.
yeah, yeah, but like that especially be like, and then there was another time, it was so crazy, I was on national TV wearing a thong made out of Christmas, and my
Yeah,
buddy was there, and
I
my
screwed Brett.
muscly, yeah, it was a bit wild, and, they're over in NXT and the training, and they're like, Triple H, how come there's this footage of you? I'm saying as if, like, the people in NXT are children,
Yeah, they're all
but,
babies. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, so that was another WWE Christmas moment, so this is what I mean, there's a lot of kind of weird
Silliness.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a
But
really good DX one in like 2010 where it was PG DX, obviously, but it was like Triple H and Shawn Michaels backstage, and Shawn was like, "Oh, look at this, Triple H! I built a ring, a wrestling ring, lots of action figures." And Triple H was like, "Oh, Shawn, that's amazing." And then he like leaned on it and
very good
broke it.
impression.
And HBK was like, "Ah, my ring!" And Triple H was like, "It's all right, man. I'm gonna rebuild this thing. I can rebuild it. You want to sit down? You want a blanket? I'll get you a blanket." And Shawn Michaels was like, "I can't have a blanket because then my arms will get cold." And Triple H was like, "What you need is the DX Snuggie." And he pulled out like a blanket. It was like the whole thing was like a plug for merch. It was so good. And then he put him in the Snuggie and sat down. He's like, "You know what we need to do, Sean? We need to watch this World Heavyweight Championship History DVD," which he flashed in front of the camera and then looks at the camera and smiles. And he's like, "Look, let's put it on." And he pressed play, and it's Triple H beating the shit out of Shawn Michaels for the title. And Shawn Michaels is like, wait, that's me." And then Hornswoggle comes in. And he hands them both a gift voucher for the WWE shop, the online shop, and Triple H is like, "This is amazing. We can give this to people that we like, and they can buy gifts and stuff." And then eventually they started beating up Hornswoggle, and It was like this,
Wait,
like
they bet him up.
yeah, that's right. The little guy who's half the size of either of them was running away, and Triple H was like, "Oh no, you don't, get back here!" And then
Classic Christmas banter.
exactly beat up the elf. But then
Yeah.
a scuffle ensued, and what was left with was Triple H like punching someone's head underneath the DX Snuggie, and then he looks up and Hornswoggle's standing right there, and he goes, Triple H goes, "But if you were there, then who?" Uh-oh.
Is it Sean?
It's Sean.
That is so right. That is the type of thing, I'll tell you that now. If I watched that with my friends, I'd be like, fucking lame.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
so stupid, man. Why aren't they putting on a 60-man Iron Man match like every week? But then if I'm watching it by myself, I'm like, this is so tongue-in-cheek that me taking it seriously makes me feel like a bit of an idiot.
This is why I watch wrestling.
Yeah, why am I so bitter that they can't put on a funny skit, even if it's badly written? Why am I, So yeah, that's the sort of the dual wrestling. I think every wrestling fan has that dual thought of like, comedy, it doesn't have a place, but then they'll look at Santino retrospectively and be like, actually did a lot of funny shit. And he didn't have to take a single bump.
Yeah.
So there's always that duality. I've got a Christmas moment which is very near and dear to me. It features probably one of my favorite tag teams, Kane and RVD.
The famous, notorious.
Yeah, it's to be fair though, it was another one of those where Kane had fuck all to do, and they were like, "Hey, he's wacky."
How many tag team partners has Kane had? Like tons of them.
I think him and Billy Gunn and possibly Edge are like the most accomplished tag team wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, Edge definitely is like the most decorated in terms of titles won, because he's won different titles with so many people.
Yeah, and multiple times with a lot of people as well. It's odd, like he always finds his way back to the tag team, wins the belt straight away.
I think
it's the same with Kane, I guess.
A really good episode we could do, like an hour-long bonus episode, would be like unlikely tag team champions, and just run through ones that like no one would, like Undertaker and Rock were once tag team champions together.
So kind of go through wiki, and then obviously we'll talk about matches and how it came about, I guess.
Yeah.
But kind of like the ones that basically don't have team names.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So sorry, Air Boom fans, you're not getting the run. Fucking Evan Bourne and Kofi. Poor Kofi in those days. Good God, he was Mr. Bland, even though he was fucking amazing athletically.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here we have Kane and RVD backstage. I think they just started teaming up, and I think now I haven't seen this, and I actually haven't thought about this since it probably happened. So if the verbiage is wrong, sorry. So RVD goes up to Kane, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I think Christmas is a time to chill." And Kane is like, "Chill." I can't do a Kane impression, so I'm not even going to bother. So Kane says, "Chill."
Kane is like, "Chill. The deforestation of the state of Illinois
is not chill." Okay, Rob? And you sat there burning the atmosphere while you're smoking. What's wrong with you? Now Kane's like, he's still full in, like, I want to eviscerate everyone, and on my way here, I demolished some skunk, and it cuts back to RVD, and he goes, "Hey man, I too demolished some skunk." Weed, and Kane's like, "Hey man, we do the same stuff, we're well friendly," and cuts away. But either way, though, I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah,
because
that is
I suppose weed isn't just for Christmas; it's for life.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah. But it's usually it seemed to kind of pick a couple of people. So not, I guess it's the point. Not the whole show is Christmassy. Usually they tend to pick like a couple of wrestlers and be like, "Oh, you're in the Christmas segments this year," because they've had in the Back to Troops thing, they would have had Cena and Austin and JBL and Mick Foley and Vince over the years, and yeah, there's been a fair few people who've played it.
Yeah.
To different kinds of reactions. And Jericho, obviously.
Yeah.
Jericho's that 2009 run where he was just the biggest heel, and then by the end of 2009 he was embarrassingly just
Santa.
Yeah, and losing every week as well.
I've got one from TNA. Uh,
Oh,
so this is on YouTube, and basically what happened was
wait, hang on though, because by the time people listen to this, they might not even be called TNA because they were called GFH or Global Force Wrestling, whatever the fuck. And then they went back to Impact Wrestling, and then they were back to Impact, and then they were back to the other one,
yeah,
Global
they're
Force Impact.
Canadian now, right? They're a Canadian owned body or something.
I think it's changed back again
Oh jeez.
to
Oh,
Impact.
well, I've got one from Wrestling
Insert name.
Promotion hashtag 52. From 2007. This is like a huge brawl between Shark Boy, Relic, Abyss, and Black Rain in
Hall of Famers.
a Silent Night, Bloody Night match.
Whoa.
So there's a
Do
barbed
I
wire.
detect Vince Russo?
Yeah. there's
Sorry, carry on.
there's a barbed wire Christmas tree, and underneath it there are gift wrapped free for all weapons, and the rest of it is just a fucking train wreck, and that's TNA Christmas.
Yeah,
So,
they went the hardcore route towards Christmas.
and it was really bloody. Like, it's not festive at all. Like, it's so funny when you compare it to the family friendly WWE, and it's like, oh, by God, it's Christmas, or like, oh, we gotta save Christmas, to like Silent Night, Bloody Night, barbed
So,
wire Christmas tree, Abyss, and Black Rain. Do you know what I mean? It's dark. You know, it's just
I wonder if that came out during the WWE no blood policy.
2007. I'm not sure it would have.
Probably not. No, this had a couple of years of bleeding,
Yeah,
about a year or two. I think Hornswoggle started to speak on a Christmas episode.
that's right. He did.
Um,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
unfortunately.
sure they've done some shit to Sheamus. He feels like a very easy target for Christmas. I'm sure they've dressed him up as a
Yeah,
fucking
probably.
a jockey or something horrifically offensive,
He was
even
there
though he's
when
huge.
Hornswoggle spoke for the first time. I know that much.
That's the one then. Yeah, that's what I thought. You'd have been somewhere around it. They've obviously had the naughty or nice. It's divas.
Yep,
Um,
and they've had the Divas Jingle Bells, Belles,
Jingle Bellas.
where it was a 6-on-6 tag match, and every single diva was dressed up as a sexy Santa.
Ah,
Yep.
that sorting out two fetishes there.
Bizarrely, this
Um,
was in 2013. Like, it just goes to show how new the women's revolution is. Like,
yeah, what the change in minds? Yeah, that's so
yeah,
true. Because yeah, that would have come in like what, the year after, and even then it still had the old dregs from the divas era.
yeah.
Um,
Did you know, by the way,
mm,
that Gillian Hall has a Christmas album?
album.
Yep.
What? It must be just snippets. So it's a full songs.
So, do you remember JBL's Cabinet?
Oh, mate, that is my era. That is wrestling. You had, okay, just rewind here because I know about this. You had the Basham brothers.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
Doug and Danny.
Doug and Danny didn't look alike, but sure they were brothers.
They were
You
also
had,
weird sex slaves for.
yeah, just before that.
Yeah, that was.
And then they had O.J. Simpson, sorry, Orlando Jordan, um, who, as I recall, had one of the weirdest characters in TNA history.
Yeah, he liked milk.
Yeah, and Rob Terry was not very impressed. I think, yeah, that's a whole different episode. The
Yeah,
TNA era
yeah.
will be coming. Yeah, and then it was JBL, and was Jillian with them, or was she later on?
She was with them, yeah, and they used to joke amongst themselves that she had a bad singing voice. But then they did like a skit where Jillian was singing different Christmas songs, and it was like this
Hmm.
this fake album thing, and it was just like it was called like a jingle with Jillian, and it was completely fake, and then it became real.
Oh God,
they
that is, yeah.
they made it into a real album. It was on iTunes, and yeah,
I'm sure it would have tanked.
Well, yeah, but like it's cool when like jokes like that become real. But like, yeah,
There's ones that can run, but there's ones that run just for the sake of running, if that makes sense.
yeah,
As in, like, yeah, it was a joke, so we got. By the way, I heard this about wrestling, from hundreds of days and years of listening to all sorts of, people in it, people out of it,
yeah.
commentators, whatever. Whenever you see something in wrestling that makes no fucking sense, like, makes completely no sense, it's usually an inside joke to make either Vince or one of his boys laugh. So,
Yeah.
um, I suppose Mick Foley being run over was probably a dig at him for liking Christmas so much. Like there's weird characters and moments where, another one that I remember, it's not Christmassy, but it was, Meat, was it Sean Stasiak? Um, yeah, Stacey, yeah, am I thinking of the right guy? Yeah. He had this weird character where he was he just banged his head against everything. This is during the invasion. And he was from Planet Stasiak. It made no
Oh
fucking
yeah, I remember
sense.
that. He was tagging with Hugh Morris, I think, at
Yeah,
that time.
yeah, and there is something of a name, that guy, isn't he?
Humorous. Ah.
Yeah. Did you ever see the bit in WCW where he's like, "You will no longer call me Hugh Morris. That was a name given to me to make me sound stupid. You can now call me Captain Hugh G. Rection." Yeah. I see what you did there, sir.
That
And
is that is truly terrible. And Vince
I,
Russo. Yeah.
yeah, I quarter applaud you because, he's doing the shoot. He's like, yeah, it was given to me by these bookers. They know nothing about it. And then and then Tony Schiavone's like, all right, I guess I gotta call you Hugh G. Rection, sir.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of any Christmas related angles you could probably you could take either existing feuds in the history of wrestling that you could ever incorporate Christmas into?
I don't really know. Like, I like all of the Christmassy stuff I see where it's like, yeah, Mick Foley is Santa. That makes sense. And similarly, I really liked when Daniel Bryan was feuding with Kane, and it was like around. I don't think it was actually around Halloween. It was after WrestleMania. But Kane was like in the back seat of his car, and the lights went out, and Kane was being scary Kane. You know what I mean?
Demon, yes.
Demon, yeah, it had like a horror movie vibe to it. It was
Hmm.
good. I was into it. They can't really replicate that with Christmas. Like, there's no real evil side to Christmas. I don't know if you know this, but they actually did try and do like a Christmas Carol thing before with Rowdy Roddy Piper, where he gets visited by different spirits in the night who reveal a different meaning of Christmas and stuff.
Okay.
So thankfully, that's a thing they've only tried once. Um, but other than that, I don't really know. Like they could do something with like 12 Days of Christmas where it's 12 something like
Bray Wyatt maybe singing it in a
yeah.
creepy way.
Yeah, well, like
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt with that creepy choir. There's definitely room for a creepy Christmas.
Yeah.
I've done on my other podcast. I've done creepy Christmas intros, and like they sound damn weird and scary and stuff. There's Christmas horror movies and things like that. The Wyatt thing is definitely something they could do really well with him and that like weird kid choir.
Yeah,
Uh,
imagine this though. This just came to me. So if you had like, um okay, it's D. Bryan and he's with Bree. Is he with Bree?
yes.
Is he with Yeah, no, John's with Nicole. Um and or Nikki, and he's having his Christmas, and there's Taz, there's Jerry Lawler and King going like, oh, and now some of our wrestlers talk about their Christmas moments and memories, and he just cuts to Daniel Bryan's house, and he's they're opening the Christmas presents, and you just look out the window, just Bray Wyatt just staring at him, and he just goes, they're in. Or we're in, or where the fuck? What does he say? Sorry, what does he say in
We're
the beginning?
here.
Oh yeah, we're in.
They're in.
They're in. See, leaves. Or maybe a knock on the door, and Christmas carols and all that, and it's fucking Bray Wyatt, and that little kid that scared the shit out of John
Yeah, that
Cena.
made him lose a cage match.
He's got the whole world. Jesse's like, what the fuck? I did not sign up for this. um, yeah, I think to be honest though, when I think of stuff like that, I always think of like your sort of Takers, Kanes, not Brian. I'm talking about Finn Balor. Like your sort of that's the Demon, obviously. Yeah, those sorts of characters just they don't have to attack, they don't have to do anything, but they're almost like there as a reminder that there's an evil presence.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you could just go to the next week and you'll go, oh, Bray, I was having a fucking awesome Christmas up until you screamed out my window that I was in. You're in! And I knew that, and that really upset me and Brie and our vegan Christmas and our vegan dogs and our vegan life. And fuck you. Yes.
He threw a steak at my window.
Yeah, fucking.
He covered my house in turkey.
Yeah, writes red rum and ketchup and
Yeah.
throws bacon on it. It says, yeah, have a bit of that, Judas, and leaves. Because I think, actually, funnily enough, it was December 2013 that they were feuding. Because that's when Bryan came out wearing the overalls.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because the Royal Rumble match that they had was that was in January. It was following on from that feud.
Yeah, a couple of weeks later. Whilst we're on the subject, and by the way, this sounds like a pre-planned thing, but actually wasn't. Should we actually just quickly mention our next saga, or do you want to hold back on that?
Nah, let's hold back.
Is that enough of a hint? I feel that's enough of a hint.
No, I don't think people will get it from that.
Yeah. If they don't, we're talking about Mick Foley versus Del Rio. That's the saga we're doing next. Yeah, that one segment.
I have an interesting Christmas WWE connection. So the movie that I referenced at the start of this podcast is, of course, Jingle All the Way. Yeah!
Yes! I didn't even think of that. Sorry, go ahead.
So in that movie, Howard Langston, the good American dad that inexplicably has an Austrian accent that no one ever fucking talks about.
He does not look like a Howard in any way. If his name was like Klaus, that would work a lot better both for the film.
Jamie, I need to get the Turbo Man.
Klaus. Sorry, carry on.
So anyway, there is a moment in that movie featuring a WWE superstar. Can you name him?
Can I name him?
Yeah.
So what year is this?
Jingle All the Way. Jesus. I want to say 97.
Okay, so we got WCW, WWF.
Let me just make sure that is the correct
I'm not
year.
doing any Googling here.
96, it's 96.
96. I'm trying to think who it. If it was Randy Savage, I'd probably already seen it a million times.
I actually have seen this movie a million times.
Bonesaw is ready, unless he said that in the fucking thing.
If only.
If only 3 minutes. Was it? Is it someone? Has this person been talked about in our reviews?
Yes.
Was it JR? Sorry. It was not JR. Is he okay? Just trying to narrow this down because I'm sure people are screaming. Just Google it. Has he been a world champion? That kind of narrows it down.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go. It's either Undertaker.
He's been in other movies too.
Great. That a lot of people have.
But he's a WWE superstar.
So Steve and The Rock and Randy and Cena.
And those could be guesses.
97. Okay. I'm just gonna narrow it down to one of these four. You tell me if it's one of these four, because I think I actually am trying to get images back, but I'm pretty scared I'm getting my films confused. So it's either The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Big Show, or Um, Kevin Nash, because Kevin Nash has done a fair few fucking films as well.
So those are some solid choices. Apart from Undertaker, I don't think he's actually been in a movie, has he?
Ah,
Mean Mark
sir.
Callis.
Mean Mark Callis Calloway, Mean Mark, Booger Red. He was in Suburban Commando, starring one Hulk Hogan.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
91. He's
How
got a
do you
blood.
have that information in your head, but you don't know that the Big Show is in Jingle All the Way?
Hey, it's a big show!
Whoa.
Does he? Because I legitimately had an image of him in the film, but I kept thinking of was it Waterboy that he's in?
Yeah, and he's in
Thunder Lips, I think whatever his fucking name is.
he's in that WCW movie, Ready to Rumble.
Yes, yeah, that's a doozy of a film.
Classic film.
I love that film.
Yeah, it's
But
great.
in the same way that you love a train wreck, I guess.
I love Jingle All the Way. It's my favorite Christmas
Same.
movie that isn't Die Hard.
Yeah. There's a big argument about Die Hard being a Christmas film, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not interested in what nerds think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't know why that's contentious for people. Like, it is quite literally a Christmas. It takes place on Christmas. It's got Christmas trees. It's got decorations. It's got fucking Christmas in the Bronx by Run DMC in it. That constitutes Christmas.
That is, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't care about the nerds and they're like, oh, but it's not a shut the hell up. It's a Christmas movie.
Technically, every Starcade's a Christmas event.
That's true, yeah.
It's the late in December, isn't it?
Technically, it doesn't say anywhere. There's no reason to suggest that Mad Max is not a Christmas movie.
Yeah. They're actually, no, you're right. I'm trying to think of a film that, because like the thing is, you can have films that just happen to take place at Christmas,
Yeah.
and then you have films that are happening because it's like Home Alone. Would you say, because that you can make an argument to say that film happens, but it just so happens to be Christmas while all that shit went down.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah. I mean, the
Interestingly,
President of the United States was there.
Home Alone and Die Hard are basically the same movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the kiddie version.
that's so
exactly.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, because he does some fucking torture to Joe Pesci and the other dude. Like,
yeah, exactly.
absolute torture. I would also like to point out that WCW has an album called Christmas Brawl.
Oh, hell yeah.
I have not listened to this, but I thought as a little extra feature, like you need any more, I might review this album and then come back and we'll do a little like tiny bonus episode on this album.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes long and I think it's on YouTube, so yeah, that's happening.
There's another Christmas movie that stars a former WWE superstar.
Oh,
The
I think
man.
Is it Billy G?
William Bill Goldberg Goldenberger. Yes.
The dude with the jackhammer.
Santa's sleigh.
Now, I actually want to know, either in comments or honestly, you can just DM me this shit. I want to know if people have seen this film, because I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen it in full. I have it in my external hard drive somewhere. Pretty sure he breaks into like a strip club, or he has a fight in a strip club. So I think this might not be a Christmas film in a rated sense.
It's definitely a horror movie.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah, it's a horror Christmas movie.
Is it like a Jason, meets American Pie, meets Bill Goldberg, meets Christmas?
That's exactly what it is.
A very strange meeting of all these ideas and people, but yeah. So maybe fact is that maybe it isn't wrestling's place to represent Christmas correctly.
Yeah, I think that's a fair conclusion. Like, lighthearted, family-friendly references to it are things that I'd probably encourage, because I feel like it's woven into the fabric of society so well, and I want wrestling's place to remain as a staple of American television. Like Raw is the longest running weekly episodic, whatever
Ever.
caveat it is that but that
It's the
like
first show on television, by the way, according to them, and it will be
it's
the last show on TV as well. It's fucking nuts with some of the shit they put on those stats. It'll be like, yeah, Raw is the only TV show that has never been off TV, and it's like, haven't loads of soaps been running for fucking decades?
WWE outlives soaps.
The Simpsons. I guess that kind of goes away, doesn't it?
That was in I suppose it doesn't run weekly, does it?
Yeah, there's an off season. Maybe if they throw all those clauses in, they go, they're the longest.
By clauses, do you mean Santa Clauses? Whee!
Yay! Yes. um, yeah, maybe they are the longest weekly running TV show of all time.
Maybe
Other
they
than
are WWE.
maybe they are.
You
Maybe
just never know.
and maybe people can't accept that, so they make up all these alternative facts and they lie.
Yeah.
And that is the essence of Christmas. Say a fact, lie. I'll give you a classic Christmas lie. You buy someone a present, first thing you do is you take off that tag, doesn't show the fact that you got that on a sale. And then they go, oh my god, this is amazing. How much did it set you back? And you go, hey, don't even worry about it. And you look them right in the eye as you say that, and you go, hey.
And then you say, fuck you.
Yeah, and by the way, you can't return that, obviously. But yeah, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse, though, than like if someone does buy you a present, sorry to go off script here, but someone buys you a present, and you look at it, and you're like, I'm pretty sure I saw this on the fucking bog off section in most Primarks around here.
What is the best wrestling related Christmas present you've ever received?
I once got a Rock bedsheet. I was 15, so I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have had that. Which included a Rock pillow.
Like, as in, and to be clear, this is a pillow made out of rocks, right? Correct? This has nothing to do with the wrestler, The Rock.
Yeah, nah, it was made out of Dwayne Johnson, dude. It was made out of him.
Wow.
It was like the blue. I think my mom still got it back home. It's like the blue logo, the SmackDown early blue, sort of light bluish logo.
Yeah.
And it's just him kind of looking at you in your bed. And it was one of those, isn't it? This is the problem with liking wrestling, is that people see no filter between that and getting like a replica belt. They're just like, well, you just like wrestling, don't you? And you're like, yeah, but there's filters. Like, you'll get, like I said, you get like top trumps as well. People probably give you that shit all day long. Or you'll get like the little, when they did that match because of the toy, the Shark Tank, and they hung Jericho, and it was Owens versus, Seth Rollins, possibly, or Roman.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember. And Jericho was hanging up there.
Yeah, they basically did the whole match just so they can promote the new toy.
I mean, when Cena comes out and holds that towel thing...
The cum rag.
Like...
It's what it is, right? No one else just has one of those rags for any other reason. And he shows it on camera because he's fucking filth, mate.
And then he winks.
Yeah. Get your WWE personalized cum rag. I like the word rag as well. That gives it such like a disgusting image. Yeah. Was that? Do you think that is a Christmas present?
No, I think that's the thing that he comes out and he's like, buy this.
I see. Yeah, like I was. By the way, just to wrap up the bed sheet story, I wasn't a big fan, and yeah, I did use the pillow a few times, but I never used the full bed sheet because I always felt like it's gonna be that one time where maybe everything else needs washing, and you put that one on, and a friend comes round, a judgmental friend who perhaps doesn't understand the business,
yes,
like we do.
We all have one of those friends, and by one I mean most of my friends.
Yeah, and they look at you and they go, I tolerate the fact that you watch this other sport. What the fuck's up with your bed? Why is your bed The Rock? Why'd you have to sleep on him? Uh, um, I don't really. Wrestling's albums would be quite a good present if this was the 90s.
Dude, I remember WCW, like the Filthy Animals. They used to rap their entrance music, and then like they all
Yeah.
had their own album individually.
Well, Kidman.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Conan definitely.
Yeah, Conan was all over that. And Conan used to call them fucking strawberry pussies or whatever the fuck it was. Which was like a massively, it's like I don't know if it's like a massive homophobic thing or something, or he used to call them salad tossers, just something. But yeah, Mysterio had did music.
Yeah, that's right.
Crossing the Border was the name of his song. Shout out to everybody who's got WWE originals.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
actually, speaking of that, the best Christmas present related to wrestling I ever got was WCW Mayhem on PlayStation 1.
Now, is that the one if you're like not selecting the characters, they start talking shit? Like if you're just on the screen selection and you just pause on a certain character and they do a sort of like pick me.
You know what? I can't remember, but it was the one where you could go to the outside. Like, you could go to the outside on WCW Mayhem, and it was probably about 10 years until they started letting you do that on the WWF games.
Yeah, it wasn't until like Shut Your Mouth or whatever that
I
era.
think
PS2.
it might have been SmackDown 2.
Or that.
Yeah.
Just still, that's still. Actually, no. There you go. A wrestling game is a good Christmas present.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I did get Shut Your Mouth as well.
Yeah, man. Like that's the type of present that you like. You're like, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be all over this shit.
Yeah.
There's Hulk Hogan and The Rock looking right at me, and sweet. Yeah, no, like I suppose another present that would be quite good. A Christmas present would be a nice and classy WWP T-shirt or mug.
Yeah, where would you go to get one of those?
I don't know yet. I suppose you gotta supply and demand, mate, or demand and supply. Basically, ground and pound and pound and ground.
Chairs and
as well.
stairs and stairs and chairs.
It's all the same. But no, I think that would be a good Christmas present, but maybe a bit early for that, or a bit late, depending which way you're looking at it.
Maybe if you just leave a comment on the video for this episode, you might win a mug. And if you go to iTunes by clicking the link in the description and leaving a rating and a review and send us a screenshot of that, maybe you'll win a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Because I fully expect at least one person to do that. And
I think if one person does that and tells no one else to do it, they're actually the cleverest person.
Yeah.
But it'll come across fucking horrible.
Yeah, it
By
will
the
be.
way. So as we said, like we thought we'd kind of chill out this time in terms of reviews and content and just talk about this sort of shit and whatever the fuck it is about Christmas in wrestling. Like I couldn't tell you about what the fully link is because there is no link, because like we were saying, I think wrestling just so happens to be on during Christmas because it's never off.
Yeah.
But yeah. Is there any other Christmas moments that we might have missed out on?
I'm
Well,
sure
probably
we've
loads,
missed.
but, you know.
We've definitely missed some obvious ones, but I mean, we're not an encyclopedia of Christmas wrestling stuff, right? So
That's Meltzer for you.
yeah,
Get those boys involved.
we couldn't be expected to know every single thing. And like you say, we're on holiday. We have families to go get back to right now, so that's why we're gonna shut off and talk to you guys
Exactly.
later. Normal service will resume, I think, next week. I can't remember what episode we have lined up, but it's whatever one you're looking forward to. That's coming next week.
Hey, maybe go back to the first one and work your way back to this one, and then watch the one that comes out after that, or listen. There's not a lot of watching involved.
Yeah.
You can watch, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, I do hope everybody has a nice Christmas, and we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, from all of us here at WWP headquarters,
The
Merry
producers,
Christmas.
writers, directors, they all
Yeah.
say the same thing. Merry to Christmas, motherfucker. Nah, Merry Christmas. Have a good one.
Godspeed.
God.
I'm just a sexy boy. I'm sexy. I'm just a sexy boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to WWP, the wrestling podcast to end all wrestling podcasts. This episode is sponsored by WWP because we can't find anyone else to sponsor us. So while you're here, please check out the links in the description to our YouTube channel, our Twitter, our iTunes feed, and our Instagram page. Thanks for listening. WWP, slam it!